section, we created a working folder, intro class, and in it we created an HTML document, index.html. Now in this section, we are going to work with the index.html. So open the index.html with the text editor. In my case, is Sublime Text. Then in it, type hello world. Save. Now go to the folder where you created this index.html and right click and open with a web browser. In my case, I'm opening with Google Chrome. So it shows hello world. Now this is just plain text, no formatting here, no HTML. But we are going to be working with HTML, creating elements within the web browser. Okay, we're going to do something before we start. My screen, I'm going to share it into two. Half of it will be for web browser, the other half will be for my text editor. So that when I type my text editor, I be able to see the changes immediately in my web browser without actually minimizing and bringing up the browser. It's just for convenience. Put your cursor on top of the page, your web page. Now hold down the left mouse button, pull down, and then swing to the right. So my page has been my window has been broken into two. Half of it is for my browser. Then the other half is going to be for the text editor. So just tap on the text editor. So my page has been shared into two. Okay, so we're now ready to start working with HTML. I'll remove the hello world and save and refresh. So we have a blank web page. I'll start by creating a doc type, HTML5 doc type. HTML and enter. Then my HTML will begin with the opening HTML tag and the closing HTML tag. So let's do that. With a space in between. Then between the opening and closing HTML tag, I'll have the head tag and the body tag. Let me do the head tag first. I've noticed if I put the less than sign, then the /, it auto completes. That's a fast way to go about it. So I'll put this cursor between the opening and closing tag, create a space. I'll do the body tag. Then the closing body tag. Now within the head tag, I would put the title tag. Close title tag. Now between the opening and closing title tag, I'll put my title. I think the title I'll give it will be HTML basics. Basics. So I'll just save and refresh my browser. So you notice in the browser on the title, bar, you have the title HTML basics, but there's nothing on the body yet. We'll be doing that subsequently. Now, if you want to see the source code of this is how you do it. You just press Ctrl U and it shows the source code here, just as I've typed it on my text editor. Now, this source code is particularly useful when you are working with programming languages like PHP that auto generates the HTML. If you want to find out how the HTML looks like, then the source code will come in very handy. So next I'll show you is how to access the developer console. To access the developer console, you just press the F12 key. Okay, so this is the developer console. Here you have the element tab, the console tab for writing codes, the source code tag, the network tag that displays the pages that are loading. Now, if I hover my mouse over the HTML elements within the developer console, you see it highlights various sections of the web page. Within this section, you can find out the properties of the various elements which you've included in the web page. We're going to be looking into this later on. Now, next thing I'll show you is the comments. So this is how you place your comments, exclamation, dot, 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 dot. Now, within this greater than, less than sign, and the exclamation and the dashes, you can type your comments. The comments does not show up on the web page. It's there to let you understand what certain sections of your code are doing, or let you start when you come back to it maybe days later or weeks later, you will not get confused. You understand what each section is represents or is supposed to do. So in this comment section, I'll just type headings, because I'm going to be looking at headings now. Headings. Now if I save, you find out that it doesn't show up on the web browser. It's called a comment. Comments don't show up on the web browser. So we're going to discuss the heading tag, the H tag. There are different heading tags. It starts from H1 to H6. H1 being the highest and H6 being the smallest. So the tag is typed like this: H1, then the closing H1, /, then in between the opening and closing H1 tag, I'll just type this is heading 1. This is heading 1. So let's save and see how it appears in the browser. Okay, this is heading 1. The H1 tag is the largest. Next in line is the H2 tag. I'll just copy the H1 tag and paste. And change the H1 to H2. And save. Refresh the browser. So that's the H2 tag, much smaller than the H1 tag. Now I'll copy this and paste 4 more times to display the other tags. Okay, this H3, H3, H4, H4, H5, H5, H6, H6. So this heading 2. This one is heading 3. And this heading 4. This heading 5. And this is heading 6. Let's save. Now, if this comes up, you just click on cancel, refresh. So these are our headings. Heading 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Heading 6 is the smallest. Heading 1 is the largest. Now the next tag we look at is the paragraph tag, the P tag. The P tag is the paragraph tag for displaying a block of text. I'll show you one quick way to get a block of text instead of typing just for testing purpose. Just type lorem, then tab. So it displays a block of text. You expand. So this is a lorem text, just for testing. So we save, and then we refresh. So this is lorem text. It's the lorem text, the p tag is a block level element. That is, it takes the whole width of the browser. The h tag too is also a block level element. It takes the whole width of the browser. Now I'll copy this p tag and paste it 1 more time. So we have 2 blocks of text. Refresh the browser. So we have 2 blocks of text. By default, it has some margins between them. So we're going to look at, open our developer console 1 more time and look at some properties of this HTML elements we have on the page. So hit our F12 tool. Yeah, good. So that's the developer console. Now, if you notice, if I take my cursor over each of these elements in the developer console, it highlights its corresponding element in the browser. Now, if I take it over the H1 tag, it shows the width of as the browser width as 779 times by the H1 width as 779 and height 37. Now the H2 also have the same width, height 27. H is same width 22. Now the lower list is H6, same width but height 12. So since this shows as a block level element because it's taking the whole width of the browser. Now the P tag, let me scroll down to the paragraph tag. The P tag, if I take it over the P tag, here it shows the width, the same width, 779, then height 72. It's also a block level element. Now you notice the text inside the paragraph tag is highlighted light blue. Then outside it, we have a border of about, I think, orange. That shows that it has a margin between it and the next element. If you look to the right, you see this rectangular series of rectangles here. The inner one gives us what the element itself. Okay, let me just click on one of the parent tag. The inner one shows us the element, the content of the p tag. Now the outer one, after that we have the padding, then we have the border, then the margin. The margin shows us the space around the p tag, separating it from other elements. Now all these are CSS properties which we will look at in detail when we are discussing CSS. So all these here are CSS property. You see the p tag, it shows a display block property. That's a block element. It covers the whole width of the browser. Then it shows the margin of 1 em, start and end 1 em. Here it says user agent style sheet. So this is default style sheet for the p tag. But all this can be changed with CSS and modified by the CSS, which we'll study later on.